12 caution flags, 3 cars destroyed in a single move, and one driver who needed 64 races to break through, now sitting on back-to-back wins after a finish that nearly turned into a demolition derby. Iowa Speedway just handed us one of the wildest nights of the season, and by the time you finish this video, you'll understand exactly why a 5-lap-to-go caution flag completely flipped this race on its head. Carson Kvapil took the checkered flag at Iowa Speedway, his second straight NASCAR O'Reilly Series win after a career that had gone 64 starts without a single victory. His JR Motorsports teammate Ross Chastain controlled most of the closing laps until a caution with 5 to go sent the race into overtime and changed everything. On that first overtime restart, Chastain's tires broke loose, and Kvapil shot past him. One lane over, chaos erupted. Brent Crews got into Ryan Sieg and Justin Allgaier, taking out all 3 cars and sparking a heated confrontation after the race between Allgaier and Crews. It took a second overtime to settle things. Kvapil beat Chastain off the restart again. Rajah Caruth rocketed up to second, and JR Motorsports locked out the top 2 spots. William Sawalich grabbed third late. Chastain slipped to fourth, and Sheldon Creed rounded out the top 5. This win did not happen by accident. It was built on a season-long grind. Kvapil spent over 5 dozen races searching for his first checkered flag before finally breaking through recently. Now, instead of that win looking like a one-off, he's proven it with an immediate follow-up. But the real story of this race is what happened behind him. With one event left before the chase field locks in, the bubble around the cut line is razor thin. Just 1 point separates Sawalich, Crews, and Taylor Gray. Caruth sits 15 back. Every single position, every late race incident carries postseason weight. That's what makes the overtime wreck involving Crews, Sieg, and Allgaier so much bigger than a typical late race scramble. Crews is fighting for a chase spot by a single point. A costly wreck like that in a moment that tight isn't just a bad break. It's the kind of result that can define whether a season continues or ends around early. Let's break down why this race played out the way it did. Because the surface level story Kvapil wins again undersells what actually happened strategically. First, tire management decided this race. Chastain had fresher rubber and, by Kvapil's own admission after the race, likely wins this thing outright if that 5 to go caution never comes out. That's the brutal reality of short track racing. A driver can do everything right for 350 plus laps and still lose the race to a random spin from a car 3 positions back. Second, restart execution was the actual separator. Twice, not once, twice, Kvapil got the launch he needed over Chastain. In a series where track position and restart aggression often matter more than raw speed, that's not luck. That's a driver and a crew chief, Rodney Childers, making real-time adjustments that turn an average opening 2 stages into a race-winning setup by the end. Third, and this is the part fans need to sit with, the Crews-Sieg-Allgaier incident is a case study in playoff bubble risk. When you're fighting for a chase spot on points, aggression is a double-edged sword. Push too hard in a crowded restart, and you either gain the spot you need, or you take out 3 cars, including your own, and torch your postseason odds in one move. We saw both outcomes possible in the same 3-second window. That's the tension defining the final week of this regular season. Is racing that hard on that tight of a margin smart or reckless? Honestly, it's both. It's exactly what a bubble team has to do. The alternative is quietly missing the playoffs. But it's also exactly why we saw a shouting match in the garage after the checkered flag. Expect 2 very different reactions circulating right now. JR Motorsports fans are thrilled. A 1-2 finish, a driver going back-to-back after years of knocking on the door, and a crew chief clearly finding speed in this car late in the year. That's a feel-good storyline heading into the postseason. On the flip side, expect frustration from the Crews and Allgaier camps. When you're separated by a single point on the chase bubble and a late race incident takes you out of contention, that's not going to sit quietly. The post-race confrontation between Allgaier and Crews tells you everything about how personal this has become with the field this tight. Analysts will likely frame this as a preview of what's coming in the chase itself, when every restart carries championship stakes. Incidents like this stop being just racing and start being season-defining. Best case, Kvapil rides this momentum into a legitimate championship run. 2 wins in a row this late in the year. is exactly the kind of form that turns a mid-pack story into a title contender. And if Childress keeps finding speed like this, JR Motorsports could have multiple cars dangerous in the chase. Worst case, the chase bubble chaos repeats itself in the postseason. If drivers keep racing this desperately for points with everything on the line, we could see more multi-car incidents deciding who advances. And that means someone with a genuinely fast car gets eliminated early because of circumstances completely outside their control. So here's the real question. Was that overtime restart hard racing, or was it a bubble team pushing too far and paying for it? Drop your take in the comments. Are we watching the start of a Cub-Apple championship run, or is this one wild night that gets forgotten? The second the chase field is set, if you want the full breakdown when that chase field locks in, make sure you're subscribed. This story is far from over.